Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our first contagion crash out. Oh my god, alliteration. Didn't even do it on purpose.
Hey, everyone.
How are we feeling? That good.
So good, right?
We're, I don't know. We finished the episode and we all just went this face.
Yeah.
For like 30 seconds. It was not, I don't know.
It was a little, no, it was just, it was a lot.
It was a lot. And we kind of sped watched it because I had technical difficulties getting started. Not great. Thanks for asking. You're welcome, Shadow. You're so welcome. I had technical difficulties getting started, so we ended up only watching the very last commercial break. So we just like full steam ahead on all of that. I miss our buddy Maxine.
We had no break.
I miss the buddy Maxine too. When will we get back to the ancient texts?
Was Eddie mentioned once?
Hi, Woo.
No.
That's okay. He was there in spirit. Tim absolutely should be paying all of our.
He should actually. Whoops.
That's just nice.
I didn't mean to do that.
That would just be a nice thing to do.
Yes, Ravi did eat this episode.
He did. As soon as she was like my baby, I was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, Ravi. But the baby was okay.
We are going to post this live on YouTube. So all of our Zain Rana, forgive me if I mispronounce, on Instagram asked all of our live streams that we do after the episodes, those are all we keep them up on our YouTube. And then we did do a live reaction to this episode. It will be up sometime soon on YouTube, but we post them
soon.
I know we still have to post 13. It just takes a little
we have
bit.
to edit it, and we're kind of a little busy making this other thing called the Buddy System Podcast. Maybe you've heard of it.
It's taking up a bit of our time. But you can always find you can always find it. The live streams on YouTube, live reactions on YouTube. If you want the live reactions the next day, our $5 tier on Patreon gets it usually on Fridays. Whoop has so many feelings. Almost cried twice. I need the episodes to be longer. Yeah, I think that's why they ended up doing like a two episode stint, because this is intensive.
Sorry, I was playing around with how our names looked because I accidentally changed them earlier and I hated it. It was bothering me. Hey, YouTube bestie. Buck just referenced him with nobody else is quitting. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
He was.
Not said in name, but in spirit. Oh, you're so right.
I do love the okay, sorry, I need to put these up. I do love the idea of the next episode being Angela Bassett and her bi-white stepson hunting down Matt Simon.
Yes. No, this is like the power duo. We haven't really seen them team up in such a long time.
Yeah.
And Buck and Athena stuff goes so hard.
It's once every 6 years, I guess. We'll see it again, and
Buck is gonna go full Buck next episode. I mean,
well, yeah.
And Athena's gonna go full Athena. Mm-hmm. I just feel like everyone's gonna be like the most versions of themselves, like
except for Chim.
Yeah,
Chim, who is going to be unconscious. Except they were like, keep him conscious under any means necessary. So they're going to have him in a literal saw trap.
I mean, one would argue that is the most Chim also. So
what, unconscious?
Going through it.
For a saw trap? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... Why did it have to be Chim? Was my question.
I mean, they got Chim, they got Hen. Something's gonna happen to Bobby and Ravi.
When we said give Hen her own storylines, this is not what we meant.
No.
I just meant, why is it Chim who had to contract the virus? Because he just had viral encephalitis.
They just want to make him sick all the time.
I know.
They do.
I feel so
Which makes
bad.
me feel sick.
Oh, by the way,
Honestly, like, did anything even happen to him, like, season 8 wise? No, right?
Chim?
Yeah.
I mean,
directly, not
directly.
not
No.
directly.
No.
but
So I guess
it
this
was
is his own
his turn.
storyline. And I can't remember names. I'm not going to name names because I can't remember them, but if I could, I would. But there were people, some of our mutuals on TikTok, that were like, give Chim his own storyline that isn't just for like
yeah.
Rats are on Maddie. Like, we love Madney, but like, give him his own thing. Well, I hope y'all
Thanks
are
a lot.
happy. I hope y'all are as happy as we are about the Hen storyline that
At
isn't
what
about
cost?
her troubles, like expanding her family with Karen.
I was just saying I wanted Chim to be involved more.
It's your fault. Okay. Got it.
This is what happens when you are the narrative's favorite. Bad things happen. A little bit.
Makes sense with him yelling at Gerard too.
Mm.
Well, sure. If we're going with the whole idea that that's all real, which I'm not convinced of still. It's going to have to be credits rolling in that episode for me to think it's all real.
Someone's thinking that maybe it's actually Chimney's hallucination dream.
Oh, I mean,
sure.
Just give us anyone's hallucination, coma, dream, unconscious,
and
thought projection. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyone.
And that maybe the virus also makes you look dead. I don't know.
Shadow, you're doing the most, actually. I love this.
Ooh.
It's our coma dream.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Meg.
Is Meg
Hi,
here?
Meg.
Where is Megan?
TikTok. For now.
Ah, that's why I can't see her.
Yeah.
She's invisible.
I'm the TikTok queen today.
You are. I
in charge of
switched duties because it hates me.
The coma dream is the friends we made along the way. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, Meg. Ooh.
I think that because the military. Okay, take my job.
I'm sorry. I just
focus on your jobs, Rachel. Give it to me, Rachel.
I'm good.
You have two places to look. Okay. I think that because the military are involved, Bobby's death might be him playing dead. So, like, here's the thing, though. It's not witness protection if you call 911 and say my name is Bobby. And that's what's in that script leak. So, I
don't
mean,
know if
maybe,
it would be like exactly like a Wit Pro sort of situation.
Even trying to get away from like out of going to jail, like it wouldn't.
Oh no!
Wouldn't call 911 and report your government name.
No, like I would kind of think that it would be more of like a government sanctioned sting operation. I think is where I would. I don't know.
You're gonna have to elaborate on that.
The bad scientist lady.
The script leak, which could mean nothing. I mean, it was the same script leaked twice.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel we've distrusted but verified.
Okay.
I don't know.
Meg says Bobby's name in witness protection is Norbert Bash. Nobody will know.
Which is what would be the spiritual father of Freddie Fakeman? Bobbert Fakeman?
yeah, pretty much. I was thinking Bobbert something.
Bobbert Fakeman, because they're related. So Fakeman. still. Bobbert Fakeman.
Yeah. Whoop says, I don't think it's going to be a coma dream at all. And that's making the theories even funnier for me. Listen, if we don't have coma theory, what do we have? Dead
Actual.
characters. And what? What'd you say, Sil?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
I was like, I'll just take anything other than, you know, a major character death permanently.
I think
I
I'm
think
just
he died.
sitting here in temporary.
Shock.
No,
stasis.
deaf.
Death.
Yeah.
Temporary character death. Temporary
Yeah.
cell death. TCD.
Why am I deaf?
No,
I'm
like,
talking about
like you're
Bobby's.
thinking, yeah.
Wait, what?
It was a joke.
I don't think the jokes are joking today.
Okay.
So Sil, you think it's something that's gonna like cause temporary death, or like something that
That's-
will make them appear dead to like all
I mean,
for,
that's what
like-
I'm like. Look, if we don't get the coma dream, that's actually the closest option to make it make sense. Even though I know Han has timelines and stuff. So
It's not even time. Well, it's not me having timelines. It's reality, and not even reality. Procedural reality, but
notwithstanding.
Anyway. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's it. I don't have any. I can't elaborate further.
That's fair. That's fair. Meg says this is not what the kids mean by going viral, Bobby. No, it's not. Sammy. I can jive with that.
I'm gonna let
can
you
work on the
guys
delay.
entertain all these things because I'm just gonna stick in the coma dream until
Listen,
I because
also,
nothing else makes as much sense to me. Even if it's someone else's coma dream than Eddie's, I don't care. What kind of Capri Sun do I have? I'm so glad you asked. It's Pacific Cooler.
the best one.
I'm craving these because of the episode that we released today.
Yes, for anyone who has already heard or has yet to hear the episode that we released of the podcast today, the Texas Hold'em one where we covered 8-12 and 8-13. We go on a whole thing about Eddie and Juice, of course. And
Sil
that
said Helena did not let Eddie have Juice as a kid, which tracks. Yeah. And then I had a mental breakdown because I was like, he never had Capri Sun.
Which is a crying shame.
His.
If that holds true. So
need a good Capri Sun. You should get some. You should get some for yourself. I placed a DoorDash order from Dollar General today, and they did not have a like a mixed pack, so I had to get a 8-pack of all 3 flavors. So I've got that for like at least the next couple weeks, but I don't know. I'm almost done drinking this, so
yeah,
maybe not actually that long. Hold on. This is my question. How are we explaining this shit if it's not some sort of dream?
Which one?
Also, why are Hot Shots Jones and Sanchez now part of the 1A team? Why are there fire trucks from Seattle and New York?
That's what I want to know.
All these places.
Mm-hmm.
Why are
That's
they
what
there?
I want to know. I just we can't figure it out.
EJ?
Oh,
I'm so sorry, EJ.
EJ, did your parents hate you?
Do it for your inner kid.
First question.
It's gonna be like, do you kin Eddie?
You can't do that.
Why is El Paso there? Thank you. Which is, again, one of the many reasons why it's still making sense for it to be an Eddie, even if it's a shared coma dream. I actually like the idea of it being a shared coma dream. And they, like, see each other. in their coma dream.
Mhm.
And maybe that's why we have the Bobby version and then the
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for like shared unconsciousness. Why not?
This is no most of the Capri Sun I had was at home. What do you mean? Were your parents just like very healthy?
Oh, Brittany says, what was it? Sanchez and Jones were in this episode too. Bobby calls out their names. Honestly, and I don't want this to be true because I want coma dream theory, whatever it is. But the way I can excuse it is they had the turnouts made, so that's what they're using as the extras, because we know they've
Makes
done it
sense.
before with like Kennard in the season 6 finale. Like it was just they had it made.
They
so like
had it there, yeah.
I don't love that idea because I want coma dream theory,
Nightmare
but like
theory.
I can wave it off as like they just had that in the costuming department. So,
and I think somebody did say like on Twitter that I think Sanchez was used before already. So
Probably. I mean, it's a common last name.
Yeah.
But I could have sworn it was the same Hot Shots
person
stand-in.
Yeah.
Person.
Yeah, I thought so.
It is. Thank you, EJ. We do too. That wasn't obvious. How we can't stop talking about it. Yeah, I don't.
Excuse me.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna stop trying to like. To be fair, I don't theorize on it constantly, but I think I'm gonna stop trying to come up with other things that could happen.
Other solutions.
Just gonna live in this theory.
At this point, I'm just like ready to write it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think I might use my Marvel rule, which is like I don't try to come up with any theories for Marvel stuff. I just show up and I let it happen to me.
Let it wash over us, right?
And it's a very good way to like temper expectations, and just like enjoy it. But unfortunately, I think it's harder to do that when we have a podcast, and it is just so fun to come up with theories because there's so much like so many parallels and foreshadowing, and brave of us to keep watching Marvel at this point.
We love Marvel. Also, hi B. Oh my goodness. I'm still trying to like I don't know that I fully have processed all of what we watched.
I was lonely.
Hi, Meg.
Hi, Meg. I was lonely too. I couldn't see your messages. It was so sad for me. So, okay, well, maybe for general people, I met them because of Marvel. Like our whole friends group knows each other because of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see
like a whole Marvel rewatch.
Yeah, so Marvel's just
way
like kind of like our OG like home base fandom. So,
well, that in Supernatural, but
I wouldn't call Supernatural home base.
Okay.
For me, anyway.
I think it's for me and Rachel.
Yeah, that's how I met So,
well, no, I meant like home base as in like it's the fandom I'll always come back to.
Oh,
I got you.
I'll always be watching. Not that Supernatural is making new things for me to watch, but I'm also not rewatching Supernatural.
Whoop saying
no, you didn't offend us. It's very hard to offend us.
Oh no. Yeah,
you're good.
Don't worry. Whoop is saying with the promo telling us you can't guess how this will end. They're definitely listening to us and watching videos. I mean, they can just be saying that. But
okay, but like you have to think of it this way. The promos are for the general audience because they know we're already locked in. They know we're watching next week.
It's like preaching to the choir.
Yeah, so it's for the people who they're like trying to get them to tune back in next week.
But still, like that and I was saying this a little earlier, like it does make me kind of like, wait, but like if they're saying that you can't guess, then maybe I'm thinking that like they know that I know that they know.
Yeah, you're
I know.
overthinking it.
Yeah, but I like those.
One of Meg's
thought
daughters
journeys.
well, both of Meg's daughters are watching Emma 1 for the first time.
Oh
Mm.
no.
And one of them just got to Buck Begins.
Oh,
Good. She should be crying. I can't
my
remember
God.
which one of your daughters said that they didn't like Buck at the beginning, but they deserve this.
oh my God.
Whichever one it was.
I bet they love him now. Thank you, EJ, who has also been overthinking it. I just like to live in the possibilities, right?
I just think it's really best stuff of them to show us a body bag and go, "You're dead wrong."
I mean,
It's fun.
they're just taking pun cues from the showrunner at this point, which like fair. 'Cause
Honestly,
he's been saying that.
this is a mood. I need some sort of palate
Oh.
cleanser.
Oh, that's
Well, I'll
that
probably
would be
just use
perfect.
fic. I'll probably just try and find something moderately fluffy.
I found
before I go
something
to
to
sleep.
read, so
You
What did
did?
you
for
find?
that. What did I find?
Share.
I will share. You guys keep talking.
Okay.
Also, by the way, just to keep it on theme and on brand, I am sick. Well, I'm getting a
Yeah.
little better, but
She can't stop, won't stop being on theme.
oops.
We're going to need you to not do that for episode 16.
Duly noted. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's happened twice now. With the crossover and
Wait,
now sick day, and
Goose is the one who did
happens a third time.
This one. Okay, that's the correct progression of things. Aw. I'm sorry, Moose, then you don't deserve. I mean, you deserve to cry
Aw.
because it's a good episode, but I
Yeah.
hope Goose cried too.
Oh, writing with MJ on Instagram. Thank you. Glad we could make you laugh.
This is just objectively funny to me, Brittany says. So at this point, are we going to get the stills after the episode next week?
The stills next week are going to drop on Thursday
Wednesday.
at like
7:30
7:12
p.m.
p.m. 7:12. I love how it just gets later and later.
Yeah, that's the official diagnosis.
I guess my dad hasn't, knock on wood. I don't know.
There's a tweet that says chimney, rebar in skull, getting stabbed, bridge collapse, encephalitis, Ebola's nastier cousin.
Oh no.
Leave him alone.
He does have the most
fucking
lives
real.
though.
It's Eddie's turn.
We're saving them for
we'll get
last.
there.
Okay,
get
I feel a little responsible for the head thing because you know what we've stated several times on our podcast? That she's never had an NDE.
Who? Wait, who?
And
Hen.
Oh,
We've said that a couple times
yeah, we
on the
have.
pod.
We
So
have.
maybe that's our fault.
Yeah.
Good.
Ooh. Jill's question. Han, can you highlight?
Huh?
Can you highlight Jill's question?
This?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, hang on. I didn't get to read all of it.
I didn't take it away.
Oh, it went away from me. So we've seen Buck deal with stuff that's uncomfortable, like the 8/11 feelings, and now devastating. So what are y'all's guesses for how opportunity will manifest in the rest of the season? I think, okay, so I wanted to highlight this because I think that's a really great thing to think about. And I think I said this at one point before, and I don't remember where. It was either a live stream or live reaction. But I kind of think that we saw a little bit in this episode too, where Buck's kind of like taking on a little bit more, I wouldn't necessarily say like authority or like responsibility, but we definitely saw him take on a little bit more of like a leader role than we have in the past, especially with him consoling Ravi and then him kind of being, again, not really the one to call the shots per se, but being right up with Athena and the military guy, and just like being like with them beat for beat and offering, he's the guy that fixes things, but I don't think we've really seen him be the guy that fixes things in a professional leadership sense. So I kind of feel like that's where this is going a little bit. I wouldn't say like he's gonna get captain if you know who, like,
No, he can become lieutenant.
yeah, but I definitely I'm starting to see those kind of threads like be woven in. Hi, Lauren.
My answer is gay things. Buddy. That's my answer.
That too.
Because it's opportunity, not
I don't know. Opportunity is a really weird
yeah,
word.
because like
It
the
can go both
phrasing of
ways.
opportunity, I mean, like he could be off, maybe he's offered something and he rejects it. So maybe he's
Yeah.
offered like a higher thing and he turns it down. Maybe he's offered something from another branch of something and he turns it down. But like as far as opportunity that he actually takes or like is on the horizon, it's like I feel like it's the planting the seeds of that.
Yeah, like I don't think it'll like there won't be like a job offer for him. I don't think he's gonna like get like transfer or anything like that. I just think like we're gonna be seeing him maybe step up to that like a little bit more, maybe.
This is a great question. I wish we fucking knew. I Googled earlier today, I was like, do you have to be a lieutenant to be IC, incident command? Because I was like, oh, Buck's gonna be like de facto incident command.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is like, I mean, maybe not in this episode, but the next one, because
like
everyone's
literally out of
gonna
commission.
be out of commission. And I was like, wait, do you have to be a lieutenant? And you don't. You don't have to be any sort of rank. And even if like other, like even if the military is there and blah, 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 it's incident command is just for firefighters. So he's in charge of the firefighting and the firefighters aspect of that. But yeah, we don't even know if anyone is a lieutenant. Someone has to be. You have to have like hierarchies. I would assume that Chim and Hen both are, because they've been interim captain, and I feel like you probably have to be a lieutenant to be interim captain. May actually Google help me.
I mean, I guess that
I don't know,
like,
but it's giving.
Go ahead.
Well, it's giving, how like Chimney was like, well, I guess I'm incident commander now, like in 414, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, like I think
or he's captain of the 118.
I guess just so they like establish the hierarchy, if in whatever case.
Okay, you don't have to be a lieutenant.
They just know who's up next.
But it says, okay, companies are led by a lieutenant and a captain. So technically there has to be one. Do they actually? They probably don't know. They probably don't know. And I don't think that they like wear things like the military does to like denote that. Because like I think the only way that we like would see captain is like because on the helmet. I don't know.
I don't know how the real life stuff works. So
I only know as much about real life firefighting as I Google.
Exactly. Google is our friend. Apparently Maddie's too. She's just like on Wikipedia, like looking up the symptoms, and I'm like, girl, that's so real.
And he was like, put Dr. Google away.
Dr. Google. Oh my God. How crazy is it too? I mean, I say this and it's the show, so like not that crazy, but just like for Maddie to be the one on dispatch on the call, you know, putting the 118 out to answer this call and then have to be on the phone like as your brother and husband are in like grave peril. Like, oh my gosh. Hi, Kenny. Kenny's here on TikTok. So just like,
Well,
we can't do anything about it.
it sounds like this show might have more realism, but that's not a high bar. And that's said with love. I love that there isn't you know, a ton of realism in the actual technical shit. Except for when it comes to things like burying people alive.
Oh my God.
Or you hand the call to someone else. I don't think so. I think that has to be firefighter to firefighter. Like, I don't think that from my expertise and my quick Google search earlier today.
Excuse me.
The IC, as long as firefighters are there, there's an IC of the firefighters. So it would be like, you know, like there's going to be someone in charge of the police, like because as we see in this episode, the firefighters don't answer to the US military. They don't work for the US military.
Yeah.
It would be like telling a civilian, you don't, like, I'm a civilian. So I think it would be the same going between the police, military, whatever.
Kenny just asked what we're talking about. We were talking a little bit about Buck and how he's
this
like
yeah, okay, that's what you meant. Yeah, no, there's no realism in that on this show at all. No. There's it's constantly people caring for people they shouldn't.
But for Kenny, who was just asking what we were talking about, we were talking a little bit about how Buck was kind of like taking kind of like a leadership role a little bit, kind of de facto, and then that kind of tangented into like hierarchy of, you know, if Bobby's the captain and then who's the like second in command and all that kind of stuff. So we were Googling.
To be fair, I think all procedurals have like hand wavy stuff for the like not working with people who are family members.
Yeah.
When you're in this kind of field.
Which is totally fine.
That's where you get the drama.
That's what we like about it.
I need to scroll because for the past 20 minutes, it's just been the promo. And I keep looking up and seeing like Hen and Buck in complete distress. Okay.
Oh,
that's better. Oh my goodness. All right, let me see what our...
Sil, do you know what the streets are saying yet? Like what, like...
Basically the same thing that I've been thinking, but we're not going to get into it.
Okay. Lauren says, this episode was stressful. It was. Oh my God. Like, and next week, I think it's going to be even more stressful now that they've got like an actual ticking like clock on things. I mean, they kind of already
did,
do. but now it's worse. And I want to know like how they're going to track down this Moira gal with a little bit of Athena ingenuity and Buck, you know, give him hell attitude. I don't know.
Athena was wearing one of those balloon suits, right? In the promo.
Was she? I never remember what happened in the promo.
Someone needs to confirm that because
hold on, let me just share it. We can just watch it again.
Okay.
Share screen.
Because it goes so fast and I'm still like reeling from where the episode ends that I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the promo?
Yes.
for next week.
Mhm.
Firefighters down in here. What's the plan?
Next Thursday.
He's already in the second phase.
I've
What?
got fire.
I've got 2 firefighters down here.
Well, wouldn't it be Hen and Chimney?
Robbie?
I thought he said I've got 2 firefighters down. Like I
Yeah,
feel
like
like
down here.
Oh,
I've got 2 firefighters down in here. What's the plan?
oh,
Next
There you go. Down in here.
okay.
Thursday.
He's already in the second phase. Organ failure.
I'm running out of time.
The 911 two-part thriller concludes.
By the time you get in there, you're going to be pulling out bodies.
Think you know the ending?
Oh, God.
You're dead wrong.
Tina has the antiviral.
okay.
Yeah, she's going in.
Oh,
She's going down the yellow brick road.
Oh my god.
On our way.
I mean,
That antiviral was his only shot.
Still is.
911.
Mm,
okay, wait. So
That
like
could be that could be the order could be different. Like that ending part and then like Athena coming
Oh,
in
yeah.
at the end. So
yeah. I do kind of wonder though that like just to lend a little bit of credence to our coma dream theory, like having some of them walk down the yellow brick road. I don't know. I feel like that could work for our theory here. But no, that's so interesting. Wait, so like is Buck the one that kind of like collapses in that tunnel area? Like
hmm.
I don't know. I'm very intrigued. The shots of Hen and Buck crying. Oh my god, Lauren, same. Like that shot of Hen just like in agony
Mm-hmm.
and Buck in agony. Like, oh my god. Those really just kind of like shook me.
How much do you want to bet this is the thing we saw the BTS of? That we all
Oh
think
yeah.
that most of us think is Buck crying.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're dead wrong.
Tina has the antiviral.
Yeah, I think you're
She's
right.
on her way.
That antiviral was his only shot.
Still is.
911.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Great.
god.
Kenny says
Stressful.
Kenny says, I will believe Buck is actually crying over Eddie and E until proven otherwise.
I mean,
That's so fair.
that's
Yeah.
the world we want to live in.
Yeah. Well,
But this is our reality now.
yeah. I'm kind of bummed we won't get like our little Star Trek moment. I mean, there's
Oh,
still time.
yeah.
We can always still do
I
that
don't
some
know.
other way. You know.
That could be the Buddy opening emergency that we want.
Just season 9. Season 9.
No.
I think that's where the video village was set up. So they
Yeah.
usually put all of the like monitors and everything a ways away from where they're actually filming. So it doesn't like
But it's this building. Like it's
yeah,
this-
it's the building, but
happening
I think they meant like that shot of the behind the scenes, like they were obviously outside with the fire truck, but you were seeing it on the monitor, and I think the monitor was hooked up to where they were filming inside.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you could hear the audio through the monitor. So it wasn't like the characters weren't outside. I think they were
Yeah.
in the set further down. Yeah, because I think that's how they usually set up Video Village. It's like a little bit away. So
Yeah, why does he have his turnouts on again?
Buck,
Yeah.
well, I'm sure he's gonna be trying to run in there somehow in some way.
Well, why wouldn't he just put PPE on like
Right.
Athena has? That actually would be protective.
I don't know.
Because like they had to fucking duct tape their turnouts.
They did. No, that actually there's more to this than meets the eye.
Well, of course.
I know. I can't quite figure it out yet. And the
I don't
fact
think
that
we're going to.
and Lauren points out the fact that we have a week break after next episode between 15 and 16.
That's going to be the evil part.
That's going to be a really hard week. Yeah.
Oh, you mean
That's
2
going to be
weeks?
tough. No, it's just 1 week, I think.
It's 2 weeks without an episode.
Oh, right,
2
right, right.
weeks before we get the next episode.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
one.
A week is how long we normally wait. We're waiting 2 weeks.
I can't math.
We're waiting 2 weeks.
Yeah. I honestly really thought they were going to do like skip 2 Thursdays rather than just one.
I thought they were too.
I think that would have taken care of some of the
problems they're having.
The filming backup stuff. Maybe if they listened to it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But I really thought they were going to. I thought they were going to take the 17th and the 24th off as opposed to just the 24th. I mean, I'm not mad about waiting less time to see the next episodes, but I kind of think that's going to 15 is going to end in a bit of a
we're going to think someone's dead.
Yeah. For 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, we're supposed to think someone's dead.
Yeah.
They got me for like a couple hours. And then I was like, actually, I refuse.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something more fun. Our winning option from our Patreon poll is how the 118 members use an actual sick day. And I think we're using it as like, I mean, in my mind, it's like a hooky day, not like they're sick and home day.
Yeah. Like, I gotta call out, sorry, can't make it today. Like a Ferris Bueller scenario.
Yes.
So, how would everybody at the 118 use their Ferris Bueller day off? That was probably the easier way to phrase it, huh?
Probably. I think Chim would take G to Disney.
That would be so cute. Oh my god, they would ride the teacups, and G would absolutely want to do Small World like 50 times, and Chim would do it and be so happy about it.
This is actually the only valid answer because there's no other way that he's taking
a day off. Yeah.
A day off. If Eddie's working with him, he's not taking a day off.
No.
Oh, I do love that. Just, quick trip to El Paso. Wait, Eddie would never play hooky. Eddie has a silver star. Oh my god. Come on. No, Meg. You're right. So in which case, Christopher would have to be playing hooky, right? Or like getting Christopher would have to be like, I don't want to go to school or whatever today, and
he's the one playing hooky, and Eddie has to wrangle his kid. Yeah,
maybe,
and that's how he has his day off. But it's like a weird like adventure type.
Yeah, that would be so funny.
And because Buck isn't gonna miss a day, he's like, he's gonna be included too.
No, Eddie would be like, I can't find Christopher. Help me find him. Like, and Christopher's just having his like day out in the city or whatever, like Eloise or something, at the plaza, just like having, or no, Home Alone in New York, just like having the day. And then he's just like, I need you to help me find him. And Buck's like, done. And they go all over.
Yeah.
And they do all of these fun, like touristy LA things that they don't usually do.
Someone write the fic.
It would take a day.
Oh my
breather.
god.
I honestly, if I was Bobby and I was having like an emotionally dysregulated day, I would have to call out. I would be like, listen, I can't deal with dumber and thing one and thing two today.
Dumbest.
I can't. I just
No.
can't do it.
Oh, Alexandria. The one with Ravi. Ravi would take a day off for a spa day after everything he's been through
Yeah.
already.
Jesus
Honestly,
Christ.
Meg
He
said we
deserves
call
that.
those mental health days. That's correct.
Mhm.
And to Alexandria's point, I think the rest of the 118 should buy Ravi those spa gift cards. Actually, I think that would be nice.
No. 2018 are going to be like, our trauma is still trumping yours. Like, talk to us when you've had a
Yeah.
rebar through the skull, when you've been crushed by a ladder truck, when you've been struck by lightning, when you've been shot in the streets of LA.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Meg says Christopher sets up a parent trap level scavenger hunt for Buck and Eddie.
I love this.
I need this
Aw, that's so
immediately.
cute.
I was thinking
Please.
earlier before we were saying the Ferris Bueller Eddie answer. I was like, what if Chris found out that Chimney was taking G to Disney and he guilts his dad into doing it too, and then like Bobby is dealing with just like progressively more and more of the 118 calling out. We're
my
all on
God.
Disney except for Bobby. That's how we get a Disney episode. Here we go.
Oh my god, they really need to do one.
They do. They really do. I'm rooting for one.
If you haven't died or killed someone, you don't get to complain about stress.
Well, poor Ravi. He's had childhood cancer. They can't say any of that.
Childhood, he's an adult now. I'm just like, this is what they would say.
I know. Taking a tangent for a second. Kenny says that the storyline of the episode is reminding them a lot of Cam Arresto. I forget if that's from Bones when he got infected with the virus. It's been I love
so
Bones.
long
It's been
since
so
I
long
watched
since
that.
I've watched.
Never
What
watched it.
season
How
is
did it
that
end?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
how
stopped
did that
watching
one-
it when they got together, and I don't recall almost any of the plot points. Because other than the like being buried alive one.
Kenny, how did that one end? Please inform us so we can make educated.
Cancer can't even
Oh my God.
Robbie.
Oh my god.
I love
Unfortunately,
this.
that is something that the 118 would say to him.
That's what they would say.
I'm so
yeah.
sorry to say.
Oh my god. Disney.
Wait, we need
I
a
wish
one
I'll just
person
design
like
that.
her.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like those
Like
Disney
embedded
ones?
into the castle.
Oh my god. Like the ones that they make like with the crickets, it's like the dad's like most expensive day ever, and then
Oh my god.
like all of the other stuff. Like, oh my god. I need that.
This is canon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I think they
Oh,
also added
yeah.
a week of sick days or personal days for her.
Mm.
That's what Bobby did. Bobby was like, here's chocolate, and you get an extra 7 days off whenever you want. It's here.
Cam said or Kenny said that Cam fessing up that she loves Arresto. Love confession. Interesting. Gonna have to revisit that, huh? I don't know how we're gonna get Eddie involved in this one, but we will. Somehow.
We'll make it happen.
We can always make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is also
Aristu,
canon.
thank you.
Maddie needs a spa day to relax after Buck fails to realize his feelings for Eddie yet again.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get her
Ooh.
more wine too.
We need a spa day.
Wait. Hi, Rock.
How many more times can we watch that man say, my straight best friend, before we need a 90-minute massage?
at least a few more. What if we need a bottle episode with Maddie and Hen and Ravi at the spa having a nice day out, and everybody else is just like
And everyone else
losing
is
it.
having the worst day ever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Work.
like Jinx.
Like it's like Jinx.
And it's like, what would we ever do without them? Sort of
Mhm.
thing. And then when they come back, they're like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're back. You know, heart makes the distance makes the
Absence.
heart. Thank you. I'm sick.
Your chair broke when you
Forgive
sat
my
down?
brain.
Just now? Or are you talking
What?
about when we were watching the reaction for 8/11 and you just fell off your chair?
Rock says the way Buck told Ravi to sit down made me stand up and sit back down. Uh-huh. That was a great moment. Can't wait to look at that again later.
Karen and Jim with the kids are at Disney.
They absolutely are.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And then there's more from Kenny about
Her chair broke right now.
Iris stew. Wait, what?
What?
Meg's chair broke right now.
Oh,
So
Meg.
Do you
sorry
have to
for your
work
loss.
tomorrow? Like from
Stand
home
up,
tomorrow?
Meg.
Stand up.
Do you have a standing desk?
Don't take this sitting down. Stand
Oh my
up.
God.
No, I'm kidding. Oh, Kenny says the rest with Eris stew. Forgive me. Cam begs the culprit for the cure, which could be like the Buckley siblings begging to save the men they love so much. Maybe that would be great. I'm also happy we're getting more Ravi. He deserves storylines. I'm so excited to see him do more stuff. But I also don't want to traumatize him anymore. That poor boy has seen so much. Let's see.
Oh no, she knows this.
Oh yeah. Maddie's fully aware. It's pathetic
Everyone
for pathetic.
everyone knows they're both pathetic losers. Everyone knows they're both pathetic losers.
Yeah. Oh, Rock is also wondering how Eddie is going to fit into everything. This is welcome to our brains. Could Buck call Eddie and tell him what's happening and Eddie say I'm coming? And Buck say, no, I can't lose you. Stay home, but Eddie still comes. Especially if the rest of the 118 are in grave danger. Like maybe quite literally.
I would love to see that.
In different ways.
I hate to say, I don't think we're seeing or hearing anything.
I don't think
from
so
him.
either. I
Because I
that
thought
would
if we
be
were going
too
to,
much.
it would have been at the
It would have been this
beginning of
one.
this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it like if they're going to do like more of a cliffhanger in the next episode, I could see
This I could see. This I could see.
Oh,
Okay. This is how we
Mm.
bring it back. This is how all right. I'm just gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna clown on this until I'm proven so wrong. But this is how we could get it. He sees it on the news. We've been saying this. He sees it on the news, and then he just decides to go there. To be there.
because he would just decide to
Yes.
just like
That's how he
go.
does things. That's how he makes decisions. And then he gets in a bus crash, a car crash, a crash, a crash of things
on the way. Oof.
Mhm.
And then that's how we get the nightmare
Coma
whatever.
dream. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What and that would be the cliffhanger. Like they fix everything and stuff like that. Yes, a tree falls randomly.
Yes.
There's been so many like buses, car crashes, especially in this episode. It's
Oh, the one in this one, I was like, oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And
happening.
Hen was like, oh, look, another
bus.
And I'm like, they wanted to point that out. Rock says I still think they can get get Eddie into it by Eddie finding out what's happening through the news and then go there and he thinks Buck is inside and or thinks Buck is gone. And that's how we get Eddie feelings realization. I don't know. I could see it. I could see it happening that way. I don't know. But we wouldn't get any of that until like 16. I think. So many buses.
I think
So
we're wrapping this up except for
Yeah.
the death next week. So
It's fine. So yeah, I think it will be wrapping up.
yes.
And then we'll get the like a cliffhanger, which will be oh
to
yeah.
bring back the
Yeah.
Eddie falling asleep at the wheel thing.
Like with the
100%.
chaos
Because it
and
would be,
stuff?
oh my God, my
Literally
entire
chaos.
family is in danger, but he won't know like to what extent Buck is involved in at all because Buck isn't answering his phone. So he just goes there and he's already been like up all night for Uber. But he just takes some chaos, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's so many things that are pointing to this that I'm going to be actually disappointed if when it doesn't happen. Because like,
I think that's why I keep trying to like go with what could actually be the reality of it all. And I'm like, I don't want to, because I do like the coma dream idea. I'm like, I need my plan B.
yeah, I think once we get closer to the episode, but yes, they could explain it very easily. But like, I think once we get closer, like after the end of this episode, where we have 2 weeks to crash out, the week leading up to it, I will just be like, all right, whatever they showed me in the promo, that's exactly what's happening, and I will instate Marvel rules in my brain. And
Going forward.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what our like, because we're doing the episode on 14 and 15. I don't know what we're gonna do for like our prediction part, because I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, man. We've said as much as we could say on this thing that we like think might happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to reiterate.
I don't know. No,
because it'll be coming out the day that episode comes out too. So I think, and I don't think. Wait, no, it won't. It'll be a week before. Okay, so we could be not wrong for a week instead of like.
Sorry, I'm back. Hi.
14 hours.
No.
Does he take Chris or leave him in Texas? So I think if this is the reason he's coming, he's leaving Chris.
Temporarily.
Right, but he's leaving Chris to go be there. Like he's not, and especially because I think he's driving late at night. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
like in a
taking
rush
Chris
to
with
get
him.
over there.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because I think, I mean, I don't know though that it could be very direct foreshadowing from this week.
Lauren says, yeah, I don't think he'd want Chris in LA for all that. I don't think so either. And it's like, and I think that's one of the benefits of Eddie kind of like putting his foot down with his parents in the way that he did, because it's like, it still, I guess, kind of allows Helena and Ramon to still care for Christopher, because they do love him and Christopher loves them.
I'm
not.
taking back my answer.
Oh,
I'm taking back my answer because she was just like, you're really going to disrupt his life again? I'm not disrupting his life. I am his life. And like, I don't think actually that he would want to leave Chris behind. And I actually feel like, especially with his parents, and like, who else is he leaving them with? Because we haven't reminded or established that like his sisters exist, or that Abuela is there and could watch him. And I also feel like Chris would just be like, it's Buck, I need to be there too.
Yeah. Oh no, what if we get Eddie breaking. I don't know what he's gonna know. Well, no, he has to know that someone's dead, right? So we could get like a
Well, if it's like
breakdown.
the end of it, yeah.
We can get a breakdown, and Chris sees the breakdown, and then like, well, he can explain it to Chris because Chris is obviously not a little kid.
Yeah.
So, and then Chris is like, "We gotta go."
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing too, is Ryan said, so I know that we all
With this
remember the part where
blessing.
he says, that's the part that I think no one remembers, because everyone talks about how like a really big thing would have to happen for him to be there. But I think it's both. I think it's the really big thing and it's Chris's blessing.
Mhm.
And not just Chris's blessing, but Chris being like, we should go. Not you should
Yeah.
go, we should go. Because then it would make sense for them to be there for 17
Yeah.
too. Just like then they're just back. Because like, what are they going to do? Have them crash? Have whatever like nightmare, fever dream, whatever thing is going to happen, and then have them move back to El Paso for an episode? And like, we know that he's working at the 118
Yeah.
by 18 at the latest. So yeah.
I'm trying to think of like how else it could go.
So EJ said if Eddie just catches a glimpse in the news, he could leave and it'd be a presumed dead type of thing.
Mm.
Okay. So that I think is what we were thinking initially with why it would make sense why it's Bobby who's dead in Eddie's coma, nightmare, dream, whatever. Because like that could be the piece of information that he like thought he knew. So like Buck calls him, or that's what he sees on the news. But then it turns out he's not actually dead, but Eddie doesn't know because he's unconscious. And now he's going through the horrors unconsciously.
Oh my god.
See, I don't think that he would, because he's not allowing. So there's a difference between like, I don't know, is Meg still here? Meg, who's an actual parent of teenagers, but I think there's a difference between like giving your kids like advocacy to make decisions for themselves and then just letting them parent themselves. I feel like this would be a parental decision. And especially if it's in the middle of the night, like he would have to go to his parents in the middle of the night
Oh
and
no.
drop Chris off. Like, I just don't see that happening.
And honestly, they would give him like a whole earful and it would
Oh.
take even longer. No.
Exactly.
He's just gonna go.
Yeah.
No, and then like think about it, like the whole like some of the things that Christopher has said, like, "Oh, you're gonna be my dad again,"
Yeah.
and like I don't know, like I just feel like, he's not gonna want to be separated from his dad, like at all.
No.
So he's gonna want to go,
And I don't
or
think
he's gonna, or Eddie, or what I'm saying is also like he's not gonna be like, I don't know. Choose to be with his grandparents. Like I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think if at any point after the initial anger, he had actually asked Chris what he wanted, it would be to come home. But because he didn't, and he didn't even ask him what he wanted again, actually. Actually, I don't think he ever asked him what he wanted.
No.
His parents told him what.
Hello. What?
Hi.
Did you get a brain blast?
What happened?
This is probably just fic land up here, and even if it's true or like could be true, I don't think we're ever gonna find out.
To my
But
dabbles.
What I missed? What are we talking about now?
You missed
Whether Chris is going to LA or not.
We're
okay.
back in Coma Dreamland.
Yeah. I love it there.
And talking about if Chris would be in the car accident on the way there.
Yeah.
I mean,
But now I'm in the place, sorry, because we were talking about like why Eddie would be taking Chris with him because of everything that just happened in 13. And I was saying, well, I think if Eddie would have even asked Chris what he wanted at any point before moving down there, it would have been to come home. And I was like, but he never asked him once he was down there. And then my brain went, actually, he never asked him. He never actually heard from Chris that what he wanted was to go to Texas. He heard from his parents.
That is true.
So I'm like, what if that was never even true? What if he called his grandparents? But what if he never actually said, I want to come live with you?
That's evil. Oh my God.
And they took advantage of the situation because
I could see that.
they weren't speaking
And
to
then
each
we
other.
get custody battle.
I would
because
I've
been thinking, you'll be my dad again. Like that line has been destroying me for a week.
Yeah,
No,
because it's
that's
like
devastating. Like, what do you mean? There's so many layers to that,
right?
Like, what were they telling him? What was the intent? What do you mean?
Like, there's so much left there that's unsaid. Like, why did you think that he wasn't your dad anymore in the first place?
Yeah.
Is it because of what your grandparents were like poisoning his ears a little bit, or just like? And Helena definitely would have.
She would have, absolutely.
In her weird, like, I don't even know, manipulative way.
Yeah. No, it's like.
And even because I just rewatched this scene because I'm working on an Eddie edit. I just rewatched this scene where I've rewatched 7-10 and those parts, all the Eddie parts. And they sit at the table and she's like, Chris doesn't feel like this is the right environment for him right now. And I'm like, that is not how Chris talks.
When Eddie's like, oh yeah, did my 13-year-old tell you that?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it like his suspicions were up from the get, but you know, being in the place where he was.
Yeah, she says he doesn't feel like this is an environment for him right now. My 13-year-old tell you that. And then his dad delivers the line of Chris wants to come live with us in El Paso. And then that's when Eddie's like, what? And then he has the whole conversation, which was like, I'm not going to let him run away just because he's angry with me. And but
that's what ends up happening.
Well, yes, because his parents fucking do that manipulation thing, which they both do. It isn't just Helena. It's Ramon too. It's Ramon using his own. It's using Eddie's own history with his dad.
It's like weaponizing their
trying to
relationship
compare them like they're comparable in any way.
I mean, I think he wants to think so, but that's just Eddie's done too much work for it to not be that way, to not be similar.
Hold on. Okay, what are the RG quotes again about what's happening for Eddie the rest of the season? Something about his.
It's something about
his foundation.
It sounds like regression. That he's going to.
I don't know.
Okay? I don't even know what that means. Like, because how? Like, he said something about like, oh, we're gonna see Eddie be like how he was introduced.
A version of Eddie that we haven't seen since the beginning, or something like that. But I'm talking about the foundation line. Because doesn't he say something about like?
I'd have to find the articles, and there were so many in the last couple of weeks.
So many.
Crystal said regressing to how he was in season 2. Something about how like we're going to see a version of him, because I don't think he used the word like regressing, but we're going to see a version of him that we haven't seen since we met him in season 2.
So cool,
right? Competent.
I know he's competent
because he's been doing medic shit.
Yeah, so I'm like self-assured. Maybe is
just moved to LA.
What a
That
man!
would be really funny. Actually, if
Redux.
Roxy
What
did
a
it.
what a man again. Electric Boogaloo.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. No, but I think because like Ryan has said, like they've had to really shake Eddie down to his foundations, like that they've done throughout the course of the series as a whole.
Mhm.
And then we'll be seeing a version of him that we haven't seen since we met him. Rock says the Eddie line from I think it was 204 where you're not my type. Like seeing that again, that would be funny.
That would be funny. Oh my god. Stop trying to make me disable ad blocker. It's never going to happen.
Stop trying to make ad blocker happen. Jill says things are going to happen in Eddie's life that completely destroy his foundation all over again. Okay. I mean, it could mean so many things.
I mean, he hasn't been absent. He was in 13. Or he hasn't been absent in 2 consecutive episodes in a while. Is that what you mean?
Probably. I mean, I kind of do think like we might see at the very end of next week.
There's going to be some massive things that happen in Eddie's life soon. Yeah, I know that's one of them. I'm trying to think specifically. He says something about
is he going?
Aha! I found it. It's from the Decider article.
Oh, which part? 1 or 2?
The second part, I think, because
Okay.
it's from April Fools.
Brittany says he's never been absent 2 episodes back to back.
He says foundation twice. This is great. He's been able to really go back to his foundation and restructure himself. Now the parts that we weren't able to get to are now available to us because now we're in El Paso. We're back into the family dynamic, and that's where all this usually stems from, the mother and father relationship. Then later he says, blah, 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 blah. We can't just have a story that's all happy-go-lucky and everything's perfect because that's just not how life is. Things are going to happen in Eddie's life that completely destroy his foundation all over again.
Awesome. Ugh.
Destroy his foundation all over again, and we will
All
see how he
all
recoups from
over.
that. Is he going to go backwards, or is he going to learn from his past and continue to evolve? There's going to be some massive things that happen in Eddie's life soon.
Tales from the 118 is here. Hi, Lizzie. And
Oh my
Lyra.
god, Lizzie and Lyra, Ellen L.
No. I want to know. I can't wait to hear what you guys.
I want to hear what you guys thought about this. Okay, so Brittany has spreadsheet. He's never been absent 2 episodes back to back. Okay, all right. I love that math. I would love to see him in any capacity.
I'm good with that math.
I would love to see him, especially if he gets in a car and starts driving to LA and a tree falls on him. That would be my favorite. Oh my god.
I really kind of am leaning in that direction of that's the cliffhanger to episode 15 because I thought for so long because I thought they were going to take a 2-week
Think you know
break.
what happens? You're dead wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead serious about moving to El Paso.
It sounds like what Tim has said, but I really do think that we're going to get that cliffhanger in 15. I thought we were going to get it in 14 and that would take a 2-week break and then go into 15. But if we're taking the break after 16, that's going to be the cliffhanger. And I think it's going to be an Eddie cliffhanger. Rock says, maybe we should look at it like maybe destroying Eddie's foundation is him realizing that he's gay or even realizing his feelings for Buck. I definitely think that's what this is alluding to.
His compulsory heterosexuality, that foundation? You mean his entire built identity?
Yeah.
I'm just because what else would that mean? He's already lost the 118.
Yeah, because he's lost like literally every single part of his identity. And we say that in the episode that we just put out today for 812 and 813. Like they have taken away every single aspect of his identity that he's don't give me hope. Every single aspect of his identity that he's attributed himself to.
Yeah.
Because they took Christopher away, and then they finally took we were like, he still has firefighting, and then they took that firefighting away. So it's like he is completely stripped of all of his identity, and he has to like build it back up. And he's working on that, but what could make it crash down again is like this complete like rewiring and reintegration of self that he would get with a queer awakening like that.
Yeah.
And then he'd have to build himself back up again. So now that he has like a little more like confidence in him being a father again, that will help kind of like buoy that foundation once like everything else is gone again in a different way.
Yeah, and that's so, and both of them said that, well, actually, I don't know if it was both of them, like Ryan and RG, but like Oliver at least said that the emotional stuff's taking a back burner for the two-parter. They didn't say anything about 16.
No.
I mean, it's kind of, I think that's kind of implied that it will go right back into it.
Yes, but he meant the emotional stuff for their storyline. That's what he was specifically talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
Mm-hmm. And then Whoop says Eddie could be the season cliffhanger that could explain why they rearranged so many things too. I also believe that it was supposed to happen earlier. Maybe they pushed it later. The Bobby stuff now who normally ends a season. There are so many possibilities though.
So I was just thinking about this earlier, and I know that we have talked about it before. I don't know what made me think of it like it was a brain blast moment. And then I was like, wait, we already have said this. It was something about Eddie from the past 2 episodes. Probably just like the Eddie season 8, season 5 parallels. But you know how we talk about how like season 5, we really like seems like should have been gay Eddie realization. I really think the original plan was buy Buck 4, gay Eddie 5, Buddie 6. And that's what I think we're doing now.
Yeah, that like
buy Buck, and that's we've said that. But we're really doing that with like Ryan's storyline mirroring season 5 so much.
So I was trying to confirm something because like, so the funny thing, because we're talking about like Eddie's storyline mirroring season 5, you notice how like in season 5 when he was in El Paso, Chimney and Hen also had a near-death experience with Jonah.
Yeah.
Oh,
he wasn't there. Which honestly ties into like what we were thinking about, you know, like the coma dream part where like, oh, it's kind of like his coma dream being like, this is what would happen because now I'm not, because I wasn't there.
Yes.
Making time.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Brittany said 816 could be Mayday Part 2. Yes.
Yes.
Because it would be God has spoken, but like via his nightmare coma dream, whatever. God has spoken.
Oh my God.
But not that he should be a firefighter.
That he should be gay.
That he should be Eddie who is going to be gay.
And then he just has to like go over the rainbow, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Jonah was one episode after Mayday.
Interesting.
Still.
I
think
your brain.
You cracked something there.
How so?
No, it just makes sense.
Oh, that's big. They're strictly, yeah.
That
are redoing the season 5.
Yeah. They're kind of like working. I mean, we've said this before, but they're kind of working through a lot of like the Buddie greatest hits. But I think they're just kind of like working through everybody's greatest hits a little bit.
Yeah.
which is super interesting too. And I would love to see another like Mayday.
Because it's like,
sort of
what do
thing.
we have left for Eddie to figure out as far as his identity? What's his foundation?
Mm-hmm.
How are you destroying his foundation? He just got his son back. How are we destroying his foundation?
You got to take away the family that he chose,
Yes.
like
It would be
more than
He's
making him
losing
think that
his
he's
peepaw
lost all of
in-law.
them.
yeah,
His peepaw-in-law. That's his father-in-law, okay?
that is
He's the favorite kid.
Hmm.
true.
Wait.
Honestly,
He's the prodigal son.
Wait.
uh-huh.
No, because no.
Ooh.
Sorry, Silgo.
No, because like, oh, well, Peepaw and Lie's gone. Well, okay, so like I'm thinking about it in terms of, okay, the father figure of the
Uh-huh.
118 is either, well, I don't know what he is right now, but incapacitated. So like, it makes Eddie feel like he needs to also step up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's kind of mirroring like that whole conversation that he has with his own dad in season 5
Mm,
also.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that could be kind of like how he, I guess, regresses, not regresses, or like how we see him go back to like season 2 Eddie.
Okay. Also,
Because he's the one who, I guess, maybe has to keep it together. I don't know.
yeah. No, I totally see what you're saying. Also, I just want to say like really quickly from 8/11 when it was Bobby talking to his mom and she was like the prodigal son returned, and I was like no, it was at the emergency at the big church and everything, and the lady on top of the cross was like Buck's Jesus now. So I was like, oh, so that makes Bobby the father, Buck the son, and Eddie, who's not there the whole.
Holy Ghost. Yeah. I sent a link to invite Lizzie and Lyra.
Oh, excellent!
Just so you aren't jump scared.
Thank you. Because I've got my pillow in front of my screen.
I know.
What was the comment that you put up that I saw my name?
It was
So I was like, what?
EJ. It was EJ just being like, yes, you're correct. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Can you add Lizzie and Lyra if they show up while I'm gone?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Bobby and Athena emergency at the beginning. Maddie serial killer murders Doug. Chimney gets the virus because he is the virus magnet. And Hen held hostage like she was with Jonah. And continues. We don't have Abby yet, but she haunts the narrative with all the parallels. I know how we can get that Abby parallel though, because like in season 3 when she came back on the train and the train wreck, like that could be Eddie but car or bus. And that's
Car
how we
wreck.
get that one. I think so. Welcome back, Rock. So I think we could. I think we could do it, EJ. I think we could do it. It's all right there. I don't know if that makes like any sense, but like I see it. I see the vision.
Oh.
Who's here?
Lizzie's here. Hold on. Hi, Lizzie.
Hi, Lizzie. Oh my gosh. So for everyone, this is Lizzie. She co-hosts one of the other 911 podcasts, Tales from the 118. She's also a fabulous journalist.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
It's nice to
Yay.
have you.
We just finished recording our podcast, so I was like, we can jump
Oh my
in.
God.
Oh my God.
So excited to hear your thoughts.
I mean, I don't know. I just talked about my thoughts for like an hour for the podcast.
You don't have to say all of those thoughts.
Well, I'm kidding.
We'll listen to it.
I think. What were you guys talking about?
What were we talking about? We were talking about like a lot of the parallels. So here, I'll put the comment back up on the. Whoop. on the screen. So we were talking about parallels for a lot of the big NDEs. So like we had the Bobby and Athena emergency. Yay, hands back.
Hi.
And I was just catching Lizzie up on EJ's comment about
Henry
Maddie's
gets a
serial killer.
virus because he's a virus magnet.
I know.
Poor baby.
And so we have like a lot of these parallels because we have Chimney and Hen from tonight, which also kind of mirrors Jonah. And then EJ said, we don't have the Abby one yet, but she haunts the narrative. But I was saying with Abby coming back at the end of season 3 with the train and the train wreck, and it could be the same for like Eddie coming back because he is our Abby mirror right now and getting into a car wreck. So,
yeah. Or a bus or a
happen.
train. I'm really not picky. Just put that man in a wreck, make him unconscious. Thank you.
Plane, train, or automobile, it's fine.
Just torture him a little.
It's his turn. We need it.
I mean, I feel bad saying this because I said in the podcast, like, oh, Chimney hasn't gotten like almost killed in the like I felt
He was just almost killed last season, Lizzie.
He was in
Everyone needs their turn per season.
everyone like I feel like not really like not as badly like well I mean I guess Eddie hasn't really gotten it in a while like
no he hasn't
it really is Eddie's turn but he's in Texas so like we knew it wasn't gonna be Eddie.
He's gonna crash on the way back.
Probably not though. Like,
he was almost killed. We don't count this as an NDE, but he was almost killed by her. That's true. We don't count an NDE unless like they're literally we're in fear that they're almost gonna die.
They're like on
in like
ground.
10 seconds. Yeah.
So
this is your fault. Hen is our fault because a couple times in this past season of our podcast, we've been like, Hen's never had an NDE.
Not a real one, but you are right. Like
Yeah.
we've never really like the ones that happened like, oh, when she was young and we heard about it. That doesn't count.
We haven't seen
Not on
it.
screen. Just like
Exactly.
Ravi's cancer.
Like, yeah. But like
Sorry,
then that
I talked
means
about this earlier.
this counts for everyone. This one counts for everyone.
Hi, Lyra.
Hi, Lyra.
For anyone who's watching who do not know Lizzie and Lyra, they are from the Tales from the 118 podcast, and they are so lovely and smart and funny, and you should listen to them.
Thank you. Hi.
Welcome,
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, why I don't know how she does this thing.
Wow.
How do you do this?
I don't know.
Is this an iPhone thing?
I don't know. It's a
think
Mac.
so. It's a Mac thing.
Is this like how on Camo? Do you remember when you
Yeah.
were using the Camo filters still?
Yeah. Oh my god, those were so funny.
It sometimes I don't know.
I hate her. We fight about this every time because I'm like, I create the chat and she's the only one who can do it.
It might be an Apple thing, but like on newer
Aw.
versions.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
'cause I was like, actually, I don't think I've ever done a video call from my Mac, so I wouldn't know. But my MacBook's like a couple years old. So
I know on my new iPhone I can do that and then like fireworks and some other stuff.
What?
Yeah.
The fuck?
That's cool.
I don't have a Mac anything. I have a Mac issue.
PC all the way.
Yes,
honestly,
me too.
So what are
That's
you
a good
guys
decision.
on? What are you guys
We
talking
were talking about how it was our fault that Shimmy almost died, and it was their fault that Hen almost died.
Yeah.
So sharing blame.
We're just too powerful. What can we say?
I guess so.
So can we try to make Buddie happen with our power?
Well, that's already
I mean-
happening. It's just a matter of how.
But
and
like,
when.
can we make it happen sooner then? Because
No, because we want it to happen in season 9. So
yeah, we're both on record.
What's your ideal timeline?
Mid-season 9? But
Mid-season?
Mine too.
mid-season 9, but I would like a clear sign that it's happening by the end of 8. For me, a clear sign is anything as much as a hint that one of them knows that it's happening
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I
Like-
don't like I,
like a
for me,
conscious
it's
realization.
already- yeah, for me it's already clear, but like
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like Eddie to get a little clearer. I have said I see Eddie's path less as starting as I'm gay and more starting as I'm in love with Buck.
Mm.
Like I think the order
see
for
it both
Eddie
ways.
is more. Yeah, it could go both
Yeah.
ways. I think I would like it more to start as for Buck to start as I'm bi, and then I'm in love with Eddie, and I
Mhm.
would like for Eddie to start as I'm in love with Buck, therefore I'm gay.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Like those
So it's
opposite journeys in that way.
the opposite
Yeah.
journeys.
Because the rest
Yeah.
of it is going to be opposite. Because it's, no, I can't be in love with Eddie. He's my straight best friend. And for Eddie, it's just going to be like, well, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
I would like that. And I think the way they've set up Eddie to sort of be so dependent on Buck, even when
Mhm.
he's in Texas,
Mhm.
would
Mhm.
make sense for him to go like,
He can't.
actually-
Yeah.
He's not a
Maybe look at
functional
that a
adult
little
without.
closer.
Yeah. I need,
actually-
you know, that moment in fan fiction where they have the O and then the next
Yes.
O is
The
in
Yes, the
italics?
italicized.
moment.
Oh, yeah.
I need that, but like a visual, like
I needed
Yeah.
actual out loud OO from Evan Buckley, actually.
Uh-huh.
Because he's being so fanfiction stupid about it. I need a fanfiction OO out loud.
the
when he
hashtag
actually
idiots
realized
in
it.
love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And you know it would be acted so perfectly with that
Yes.
too. So like that's also why we need it, just to like see that happen. But I really do think that we'll get an Eddie version of that at some point when it'll be
I'm so
do we
glad
get to
you
tell you
asked.
about Buddy Maxing?
What we're doing right now.
What we're doing right now. Do you know how there's
lives.
like a very serious plot line that's happening in 911? It's unimportant right now because it's Buddy Maxing hours now.
All Buddy all the time.
25/8.
That's the show.
24/7 live coverage of Buddy.
Of exactly. That's us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, breaking news. But Buddy,
Yes. 100%. We talked about doing buddy system breaking news on Fridays. Like with just like the breadcrumbs of the week. I don't think there were any breadcrumbs this week.
look, it'll
I
be
don't
better breaking
even I don't
news.
know how to do that.
Look,
No.
it'll be better
Except
breaking
for no
news than
one
what
else
we
is
get.
quitting.
It'll be better.
we can discuss the ways in which Eddie could find out. I mean, it's just all speculation.
True. Oh, well,
but-
we were doing that.
but we still like, because I was talking to Lyra about how likely it is that Eddie would see this on the news, and there were some people on Twitter saying no, that the army wouldn't
military.
let this-
I saw your
the
tweet.
military wouldn't let this get on the news, and I was like, okay, they don't have that much power. They
It's
had
not going to
to
stop anybody.
evacuate like I don't know 8 blocks or whatever.
The
They had to.
opposite. The news people are
Right.
going to see the military is there,
Right.
and it's going to be news.
That would
And
not stop
Eddie-
Taylor
Eddie-
Kelly.
No,
the
we're gonna
moment-
see helicopters.
Right. And Eddie lives with a 14-year-old. So the 14-year-old is going to be like,
Yeah.
hey, something's happening in LA. Have you checked on Buck? And
Yeah,
Buck's
it's
not
gonna
going
be
to
one
answer.
person
Mhm.
with a drone
Bugs-
and Twitter.
Right. But and
A
then,
drone
yeah,
and a dream.
Chris is going to get on TikTok, and then Buck's not going to answer once, twice, 3 times, and Eddie's going to go crazy. And he's going to be like, I can't.
You know, Chris has Google alerts on
Oh.
for the 118 and
Yeah.
like
He
Evan
would.
Buckley and
Everybody.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's super
No, no.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Like even if they don't get it on the news, like yeah, people are just gonna be like, ooh, what's going on?
This is so true. Well, first of all, because Eddie never thinks he thinks through, I'm gonna do this thing, and that's it. That's as far as the thought goes. But yeah, also for some reason, Buck has the brain cell, but he's still hooked up with his ex. Eddie, the bar is underground.
Nobody said the brain cell was like a fully
high
functioning
functioning
brain
one?
cell.
It's
Just
a
that
brain
there is
cell.
one.
Maybe Chris has the brain cell.
That's true.
That
Yeah.
is actually what's happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, maybe. But our military doesn't control shit with the news, especially like if it's a public incident. Like
Fair game.
And there's military crawling everywhere, and this is like in a very populated area of Los Angeles. There's no way they're keeping that under wraps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how are you gonna keep 8-mile radius under wraps? Like,
Yeah.
No.
Couldn't
That's
even
not
keep
happening.
2 blocks under wraps for Bobby's funeral filming. Like,
I mean,
No,
at this
that's so
point,
true,
I'm sure
actually.
they weren't even trying. They just
No,
wanted
I
us
know.
to know.
No,
They did not try. They did not attempt.
they wanted us freaks to know.
I wonder what
did.
that conversation was like internally, because they have to have these conversations. We got to shut down these roads. We got to do this,
Yeah.
this. What was the conversation internally for the 911 team where they were like, but
Because
shouldn't we
Bobby's
close
not
up those
actually
roads?
dead. If
Yeah.
Bobby was going to be actually dead, they would film everything that was important, details wise, on a soundstage. They would
Yeah.
not be doing that shit out in public.
Like,
Mhm,
am I
yeah.
spoiling a main character death in the street?
The only
mean-
one you've ever done, and it's the main character.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
free press.
Again, they've done this for other shows. Again, they did this for once upon a time. They spoiled every main character that they filmed them outside. So
yeah.
that part is not what surprised me. Because I saw that and we knew who was gonna die months ahead of time because they filmed them everything outside.
oh my
So
god, that's
no one
annoying.
was ever surprised on that show because they filmed outside.
Oh my god.
So that wasn't the part that surprised me. The part that surprised me was that they were filming episode 16. No one ever kills a main character in episode 16.
That's the finale.
Right?
Yeah.
If it was episode 18, I would have been like, okay,
Okay, he's
maybe.
dead. Probably.
Maybe he's dead.
Yeah.
But episode 16, you don't kill Bobby in episode 16. You kill Bobby in episode 18 at the end and leave us hanging for months.
And there's some lead up to it that makes sense, like
Right.
not just narratively, but like interviews.
Right. You don't kill
To give
Bobby in
s-
episode, yeah.
No.
Yeah, the only like real foreshadowy thing that we've seen lead up to a Bobby DE was pretty much in this episode, kind of where they did like the is he coming out of the smoke, you know, like saving the baby from the car, and then he is, and then like they're starting to like do that yo-yo toying with us sort of situation, and I'm just like, but they're making like the audience clue into that, so that also makes me think, yeah, he's gonna be fine in the end, because that's too easy. That's too like noticeable.
No,
I have a
this
Bobby question.
all ties into them putting the break after episode 15. When they put the break after episode 15, and then we saw them filming the funeral, I was like, yeah, Bobby's alive. He's trapped in that coffin. Poor Bobby. And then they're gonna like, I don't know, bury him with like his cell phone or something so he can call 911. I don't know.
Right.
But this
No.
is 911. This is like the things that happen here. Because like if not, the thing that made sense was to put the break now. This is the week that made sense.
Yeah.
That's what I originally thought, because I thought they were going to do a week where I thought they were going to do a 2-week break in between 14 and 15, and I was like, okay, great, 14 is going to be a cliffhanger. We'll wait a little bit. We'll come back on 15. And I was so confused when they were like, and 15 is right after. I was like, wait, huh?
That's because
it just
cliffhanger is.
Yeah, it would just like make more sense that way. But Rock on TikTok says they're faking us out to make us think it's a Bobby DE, but it's an Eddie NDE, and that's what I'm going with.
I'm
I
just
would
saying the
actually
shit we
hope
know
so.
about this funeral make no fucking sense.
But then but like everyone's in that funeral, including Eddie. I mean,
Yeah, who's
I hope
able to
he
walk
has
up
a
the
car
118,
crash.
but he's not in blues, and Tommy and Gerard are, but like none of this makes sense. Bobby
Yeah.
being buried
Mhm.
alive, first of all, but he's supposedly been dead for long enough for there to be a fancy ass procession. And he's buried with his cell phone. Like none of it makes sense.
I hope it's an Eddie NDE and he's dreaming all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that is the only thing that was my first thought, and that is the only thing
Yes.
that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
why is Tommy there? Also, that is
Walking
Eddie's
on the
nightmare.
Gerard and
That is Eddie's nightmare.
Yeah.
Tommy and Gerard have to be Eddie's nightmare. If I was Eddie and I was having a nightmare, Tommy and Gerard would be there.
Well,
No, exactly.
Syl brought up a good point about Tommy being there when we were
Oh,
recording our
right.
last episode.
Because it's like his replacement. That's his worst nightmare, because I was thinking about like how he felt about the fucking dog. But anyway,
Who's jealous of a dog?
I don't know why I keep bringing up the dog. I know some
No,
people
'cause it's
were-
Because he's insane for that.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, I just don't think he wants to be. He like his worst nightmare is being replaced in Buck's and the 118's life. So
Which could mean nothing.
Absolutely.
And losing
nothing.
the one good parental figure he has.
Mhm.
Oh, and the person who guaranteed that he would have a job as a firefighter again.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Especially when like, because we just did our 812 and 813 episode that came out today, and there was a lot of emphasis between those two episodes about like Maddie and Eddie living their nightmare, their worst dream, their worst nightmares. And it's just like that's a lot of emphasis on nightmare scenarios. And especially since, you know, Eddie's worst nightmare was losing Chris, but now that he's got him back, what's left? What is his nightmare now?
And
his
the quotes
nightmare-
that Ryan gave about like breaking down his foundation. I'm like, didn't we already do this with Chris? So what's left?
Yeah, I mean, like if anything, I think what we've learned these last couple episodes is that the person who Eddie really, really, really is the person he is in LA, and the tether that keeps him connected to the person he has grown into is Buck. And if he were to have like a near-death experience nightmare, and he thinks like Bobby is dead, that would kind of like that would shake you in a nightmare, because that's your connection to go back home to, you know, where you are, your most authentic self, and be able to support your family and Chris and do what you love doing. Because
You can't afford to live in LA on an Uber.
No, but like it's would be kind of like a domino effect, right? Because like if Bobby would no longer be available to give Eddie back his job, then all of the other strings are kind of cut because of that.
Yeah.
So that he can't return back to Buck or the rest of the 118 because he can't
afford it.
He can't afford it.
No. I also just think realistically, it's the easiest way for us to get gay Eddie. It's the easiest way for us to get there. Not just for like us, I meant like the general audience, because they could spend a lot of time on something that I don't think they would be able to, not in a nightmare coma dream situation.
Ooh, Rock makes.
Why is part of your nightmare that Buck is dating Tommy again? That's so strange.
Curious.
Interesting. Rock has a good point. I think his nightmare is who he pretended to be while he was in Texas. This straight firefighter. I think that's absolutely it. It's like, and to like break down some of that foundation, he had to go back to Texas, like in the first place, like to where that all started.
Yeah.
Like all of the things that he was taught to repress and everything like that.
And we're
like,
mirroring
chip away at
season
those.
5, which was like, seemed like it should have been gay. Like that was there. That was just laid out. They could have just said it and it would have made sense in season 5.
Like the Eddie Anna breakup, like it was right there. It was right there. So close.
Meg's back. Hi, Meg.
Hi, Meg.
Is your chair fixed?
Oh no.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm okay with it being any sort of nightmare scenario, just because even though I don't think Bobby's dead at all, if that's actually just the plot of the episode, I don't know that I'm going to be able to take that seriously. I think that's too much hand waving, even for me in 911, to make that make sense. Because if he dies at the end of 15,
I don't know. We had the B
No,
NATO.
no.
Anything could happen now. I'm like, whatever.
Right, but like it'll feel like they've wasted too much time on this.
Yeah,
like
true.
silly.
yeah.
plot in the middle of like and it'll be like a couple of episodes without Eddie probably, and then we'll have to go back to whatever Eddie plot to bring him back to just for the funeral, and then because it
like,
makes sense to tie him to Eddie in some other way.
Like momentum wise, it seems it would seem odd then to put like such a big 2-part emergency kind of like so close to the tail end of the season and kind of like stall the Eddie stuff that we saw like 2 episodes in a row that had been like building up for pretty much all season. So there has to be something there like structure wise, like narrative structure wise, to kind of like tie it all together to help propel some more of Eddie's storyline forward.
I think that's why it would make sense too, because he hasn't had an A plot yet. And like he had one of, I guess, other than like Hen and Karen, like at the end of season 7, that was like the biggest cliffhanger. And like everyone's shit got solved in the first 3 episodes, but his. And then you know, we were like dragging out this storyline, and like I like where we got with 12 and 13, but I'm still like, you guys have been planting all these other seeds but haven't really followed through on it. And like, how hasn't he had an A plot for this very big thing that's been happening to him?
I also like won't forgive them for making Tommy and Gerard part of Bobby's funeral procession if that's a real funeral procession.
Yeah, that's supposed to be their real funeral. Why?
If that's a real funeral procession, like we're gonna throw hands. Like, what is Tommy doing there?
Also,
Gerard.
It's fine if it's fake. Like that's whatever. That's great.
Next to Athena, like if that were true, I would hope Athena would turn around and be like,
disrespectful.
Get the fuck out of here.
It just, I don't know. It just makes no sense.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know everybody was talking about Buck's sit down or whatever like that. But honestly, I want to talk about Bobby and his stand down, Ravi. I'll do it.
We already talked
Bobby
about
went full Buck.
I was like, whoa, Bobby, this is the hottest you have ever been in your entire life.
I feel like
my whole team will be alive and I'll be in Supermax. Sounds great.
I love it.
Sign me up.
No, that is taking one for the team, like literally.
Yeah, I thought Robbie was gonna go forward and do it, and then just Bobby came out. Like honestly, Bobby had that superhero moment earlier when he just walked through the smoke after a fire that didn't hurt him at all.
That and then him just being like yoink with the badge. We were like, okay.
Yeah, and then a virus is gonna take him out. I refuse. Bobby to survive too much.
Death by virus. By something you can't even see? No.
Bobby performing surgery too. Like
he was doing it all.
What can't you
really
do?
Was.
And like
he's like, I have magic blood. I can do anything.
Yeah, and then like his wife landing planes. Bobby walking away from fires, all cool, like challenging the military and performing surgery.
Yeah.
Like I'm queer, like mainly into like women, but I was like, Bobby.
You forgot. I just remember I like men too.
Basically.
It's women and Bobby Nash.
It's
the list.
Women and Bobby Nash.
He's on the very, very, very short list of like cis het men. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how, like when they had the whole arc with that guy from Hot Shots. What was his name again?
Brad.
Yeah, look. When he was telling Brad basically to sit down, I was like,
yes.
Yeah.
like something your limey ass. All that.
Yeah, I was like, Brad, like
kick your limey ass. Yeah.
That's it. I just wanted to talk about Bobby being hot.
He is 100%. Literally, why would Gerard be captain again if Bobby
He doesn't
died?
want to be captain. He wants to just sit in his
Brad.
He has his dream job.
Yeah,
and Brad doesn't hate him anymore. Why would he want to leave? Why would they bring that person back in? Like, if anything, Hen would be captain. Like, she would be interim captain. The only
Mhm.
reason he was ever captain again in the first place was because of the corrupt, what was she?
Councilwoman.
Councilwoman. And she's not in office anymore, I think, was implied.
Hang on
Because
one
that was
second.
like corruption and what's happening?
Sorry, I think I don't know if I'm still live. I had like a alarm go off.
On TikTok?
On TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes, and you have to slide a puzzle piece.
I did that, and then it did alarm.
Oh, you're
and
good.
I don't see us live now.
Then
On
maybe you
TikTok.
didn't do it in time.
Oh no! How do I get us back?
You just press go live again.
Okay. Well, it says end live or pause live.
Then you're
maybe-
live.
Okay. Just checking. I haven't
It's
done
okay.
this one before.
I put her
I'm
in
like-
charge of the things so that I didn't have to deal with
So
it
where
because
do
it
you
gets
guys
screwy for
stream?
some reason.
Like-
So we stream on YouTube, Twitter, Insta, and TikTok. But it's
Everywhere.
free. Everywhere. We're everywhere, man. Literally. But like TikTok, so like everything else interfaces directly with StreamYard, but TikTok doesn't. So
Oh,
we
there
have to
we are.
use their like
found us.
live studio. Oh, good. It's a whole thing. But like when I was running that, for
Oh,
some
thank you,
reason,
Ryan.
random windows would like start showing live, like my Instagram window that I have up, because you still have to have an Instagram window up for
Oh
the
wow.
live, or like something else, like other random tabs would start showing, and I was like, Rachel, I need you to start doing this because it makes me have like a breakdown midstream, and then it takes me like 10 minutes to emotionally regulate myself.
And you guys do this every week?
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at Rachel's face.
We do. So
Yeah,
I had
I mean, for
my
very
mini
length
freak
of
out
time.
now. So
Yeah.
it's
You're good.
official. So I'm sorry to interrupt what we were saying. So sorry.
It's fine. We can probably get it back.
I think we were just like, why the fuck would Gerard be captain? I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where we were at.
Yeah, he's happy
Mm-hmm.
with Brad.
Yeah.
It's again.
Oh,
it's
the
gonna be a
old man
nightmare.
Yowie.
It's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let it be Eddie's nightmare.
It just makes the most sense that way.
Meg, you're so funny. I don't think we were recently talking about this. I think she's reading the backlog chat, maybe. She had to leave because
I
her
don't
chair was
care, but
broken.
because I agree. I'm also a
Yeah.
hater. We're also.
We are
Yeah.
all
We're all haters.
in good company of
Uh-huh.
Helena,
It's a generational grudge.
Helena haters.
It is. She
It's
also
like the Yolanda generational grudge. With Eddie T.
She also said this, which I agree with, and we were talking about this earlier before you guys joined. How I was thinking about how Eddie decided to not ask Chris to move back in, right? Like the whole thing when he left, he was like, if you want to come back, if it's in 6 minutes, 6 months, or something like that, whatever number it was, like you just call and I'll come. But like, then he says in 13, I'm not going to ask you. I'm telling you because I'm your dad. But I'm like, did Chris ever ask to leave? Like, we don't even see him asking his grandparents. Like, they are the ones who say.
Yeah.
Chris doesn't feel like this is the right environment for him right now.
Yeah, no.
And because I'm thinking about like how he said, you'll be my dad again.
The only reason why you would say that is because you're in an environment where you believe your dad will not come back for you, and the
Yeah.
people around you are making it seem like he's not going to come back for you. And that's why I will never forgive Helena, not Helena, and Ramon Diaz. Never.
Like she doesn't deserve the pronunciation.
No, Lyra's on a kick of like she doesn't deserve the Spanish pronunciation because she's a white woman.
Yeah, that's true.
But which is
Okay.
true. Like
And she's just a bitch, so
yes, but she's also like, yeah, she was annoying me the other day because like I processed like she's not Latina. She's just co-opted just the worst parts of
of the
the
culture.
Latino culture.
She's like
and then
assimilated herself into it.
She's just a simulated co-op to the worst parts, and then Ramon's just sitting there, like taking it, and like
taking it, and also taking Chris to chess games, and just letting everybody assume that he's the dad.
Bro,
I can't believe they just
That's
like
fucked
kind
up.
of glossed over that. Like that infuriated me to no degree. Like, oh my god! Like,
But
how
Eddie
do
is
you?
gentle. Eddie went through a lot
Mhm.
of pain, and Eddie chose to be classy. He could have
did. It
destroyed
was-
his mother.
It was
he
perfect
was
for his
just happy.
character.
I think he was
Yeah.
just he chose the happiness in the moment.
He chose joy.
He shows joy. I think that was exactly what it was. He there was a moment of him choosing joy, and not anger. And I think, yeah. I think
Yes, I loved that.
I think we talked about it. 'Cause-
Man.
yeah, because Lyra and I are both older Latina daughters, and I felt like Eddie was treated like the older daughter, not that the oldest son, because the oldest son is always like protected and perfect and has never done anything wrong, and the oldest daughter is always burdened with expectations, can never do anything wrong, and that's Eddie. I don't like.
Yeah.
Eddie can never do anything right. Eddie's like all the expectations, all the burdens of the family, and like my poor Eddie.
well, I mean, we talk about him having to be the man of the house a lot because
Yeah.
of that line he says to his dad, but like it doesn't sound like his mom was super like emotionally present either, so he had to pull double duty.
I think Helena did a lot of emotionally leaning on Eddie from a very young age, and that just like ingrained that parentification
Yeah, that's
in
what it is.
him. So I really do think like maybe she was like present physically, maybe she was like not as neglectful as the Buckleys,
emotionally supportive,
but not as emotionally supportive. Exactly, like emotionally neglectful, but not like as physically as I think like the Buckleys were. Right.
Which, not that they were great, but like I also, this is why it bothers me to not see Eddie's sisters.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
where are the sisters? I need them to show up, because where are like the dynamics will tell us so much about Eddie.
Exactly.
And like if we
I feel like we would have gotten them if we were gonna get them.
that's the annoying part, but like I am also like, if we get Buddie, when we get Buddie, how do you go forward with their relationship without bringing Eddie's sisters into it?
Like at the wedding, at the very least. I have to be there.
I would actually love to see like I think they could bring Adriana and Sophia into it, like with Eddie realizing that he's gay or in love with Buck or any permutation of those, and if Eddie doesn't like address that with his parents, like right as he realizes that stuff, like he comes to terms with it on his own, and then like he tells his real family, the 118. But I wonder if then there would be a bit of a storyline there for Eddie about having to reconcile this new identity that he's created for himself with his old identity, especially since he was in Texas so recently. I'm assuming he's like moved back since this. And then maybe him like calling up his sisters and telling them first as like a practice round, and also to make sure like united front with the parents. I could see it going that way.
Someone to dish to, because the only person that he could feasibly do this to in LA is Bobby.
I don't
Like,
want to
once
see
he-
the kind of advice that Bobby gives them, though.
And that's Buck's dad. So how is he going to do that?
Right.
Because he
But I
can't talk to
also-
Buck about it. His one friend.
Hen and Karen.
He can't. No, he can't talk to Hen because Hen will say something to Chimney or make a face around Chimney, and then Chimney will know something.
I also feel like Eddie would be the kind who would just not tell his parents at all. Like, okay, I'm in love with Buck. Whatever, I'm gonna enter into this relationship. My parents don't care.
Never just find out with the wedding invitation.
Gets married, not even invited.
Wedding invitation, not sending a wedding invitation. They will find out when we
When
run
they
into
find
each
out.
other in 10 years by mistake. When Chris posts a picture of our wedding anniversary on Instagram, that's when they're gonna find out. Eddie will not say a word.
Oh my
I
god!
mean,
Like Chris's
I respect
graduation.
this. I would do this.
Like I know a lot of Latinas who like literally never come out of the closet to their family, and it'll be like 20 years later. It's like, oh, that's your roommate. It'll be like, oh yeah, my roommate.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's my daughter's roommate.
Yes. They'll be like, yeah, you believe whatever you want. I'm like,
Whatever makes you sleep at night.
whatever. Yeah, I'm fine. And it's not even that they're hiding. They're just like, yeah, I just don't even want to like.
I'm very white, very obviously, but like I didn't like once I came out to myself, I still waited several years before I even told my parents. And I don't even tell them. I made a Facebook post and then texted them. And was like just I got tired of censoring myself. Like about hot
Like,
women.
here.
That's all.
Just in case you didn't know. Here.
Yeah. But like I could have gone the rest of my life without like telling them because I was like, it's not I'm in a relationship with a man for 15 years, so that's set. So I'm like the only time it would really be relevant for them to know is like if that ever ends for some reason, which I don't foresee it happening, I'll probably just be single forever. So I don't know how to date. So I was like, it doesn't need to be like talked about and you know, religious upbringing.
I feel you on that.
Yeah. So yeah, I could see him just not telling them.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Rock also says they could bring Eddie's sisters in after he realizes his identity and we understand him more as he is understanding himself through his sisters. I think that would be really cool.
That would be cool too.
That would be such a great way to like. Oh, bye, Meg.
Bye, Meg.
But yeah, I think that would be such a great way to like expand on his story in ways that we haven't yet seen, kind of like how they did with Bobby by bringing his mom and his brother back into the fold a little bit like that. And just like, you know, this new facet unlocked.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool, which would also help Eddie understand himself in a new light.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I was also thinking too, was like maybe there's a reason why the sisters aren't around. Maybe they have their own beef that, you know, Eddie's never really like acknowledged because he's just starting to acknowledge his own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
So like mending like the family traumas in that way too.
Poor Edito. I just want Abuela and Pepa back. Where are they?
Yeah, for real.
I miss them.
They live in Texas now. Where were they?
Peppa doesn't.
Well, yeah, Abuela does.
But Abuela does. Why haven't we seen Abuela? We even saw her. Didn't we see her?
They brought her
to
wedding.
LA for like the Madney wedding.
Why was she there randomly, but not now when Eddie?
There's no way that her grandson is there and like not spending time with him.
I know, like El Paso would have been so much better at Abuela's. Like,
it kind of reminds me of like when they didn't have Pepper around in a lot of Avengers Tony stuff because Pepper would like just fix everything. Maybe that's why they don't have Abuela around because Abuela would fix everything. Plot done, everything taken care of.
Yeah, I think Abuela would have been like at a point would have been like, "Hey, this problem with your parents. You want me to explain what the problem is? Because like I'm tired here. Like
the same reason they couldn't have Cast around all the time because he would just fix most things.
Too OP'd.
Yeah, he's too OP'd.
Yeah. Oh, and then Rock also says Eddie might want a relationship with his sisters because he sees Buck and Maddie's relationship. I think that would be a great thing to parallel too.
That would be nice.
With both sets of siblings. But then you could also get like Eddie and Maddie like establishing a relationship.
Which brings me to this. Yeah. Well, the reason they can't talk to each other is because she can only not tell one person that they're in love with the other, and that has to be her brother.
But like she already texted Eddie a picture of Buck.
She did.
Considering that she took a picture of Buck, that's what she was saying. that he was not in love with Eddie, and then texted it to Eddie, you would think she could talk
She's a
to
troll.
Oh yeah.
She is.
Honestly, like when I saw that, it made me think of that audio from Dr. Phil. Is this your man? It was like, that's
Yes.
my man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too.
like
He's just like saves the picture. Like
I think
like
I
from the
said
exact moment.
I made it make sense in my head because it was like she absolutely thought this was finally going to be the moment and took a picture to commemorate her years of misery and then was like, this is not
Spoiled again.
Not today.
gotta
then
do
he's
something
like,
bigger.
To send it to Eddie. 'Cause-
yeah.
Mhm.
And then Eddie made it the Bugs profile. I think it made whatever.
Totally normal stuff.
Oh yeah.
Totally
Mhm.
normal stuff.
This is what I do with my friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally
What is your
normal friend.
profile picture, Lara? Let me see. No, it's not.
I mean, for the longest time, the only thing I had on my phone that was related to you was your daughters, your furry daughters. They were on my phone for a while as the profile picture. That's the only.
Okay, that's
beautiful
cute.
Yeah, those beautiful little babies. They were on
Mm.
my phone, but I don't have a picture of Lizzie as my lock screen.
No, I don't.
I've never
No.
had a picture of my friends as my lock screen.
Was it his lock screen though? I thought it was just like
The caller ID.
Like call ID.
It is the caller ID. Yeah.
I don't think I even have like a photo of Lizzie set for a color.
No, I
ID.
don't have a photo. You
I
said
do
that's
have
it.
pictures saved. For
I just
my-
ask people for their pictures or like use whatever
Uh-huh.
they put on their like, profile.
Ooh,
thing.
that's
It's
smart.
Well, for our friend group, us and Nikki, I had pictures
Yeah.
saved, and I sent a screenshot because I had to move the fucking pins around because we have too many ABC, conversation. Literally, you can have 9 people pinned on your iPhone, right?
Okay.
It's my partner, my IRL best friend, and my like IRL good friend. The rest are these bitches. It's individual Rachel, Scylla, and Nikki, and then it's the 4 of us, and then it's buddy system, the 3 of us, and then it's me, Rachel, and Nikki. And I sent a screenshot being like,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. And then Nikki's like profile picture had like changed back because I think she like set hers as something because you can do that on
did.
iPhone. And she was like, why don't I have a customized picture like everyone else does? And I was like, I did. You changed it. And she like made me change it in that exact moment.
Yeah, I think she was like, "Here, I really like this picture." Or I was like, "Do you
No, she
how about this
wasn't.
picture?" And she's like, "Yeah." Or for mine because I don't think that's her official one. I don't know.
No, I had one because like after we have like outings because we live far apart from each other. So like when we hang out with each other, I have a picture of Syl. I don't have a picture of me and Syl because Syl and I have still not hung out in person. We're about to.
So funny.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
I was like, TJ was like, have you guys actually met in person? I was like, technically, yes.
Once. Yeah. In
At a
passing.
Supernatural convention.
We were at the same one.
This
were-
is the fandom life. I absolutely love
Yeah.
it.
I will say I thought of you guys during our podcast, and because I was talking about something. Don't want to reveal it, but we were talking about something with solution, and I was like, supernatural. This is how it could be done.
Incredible. Our impact. Thank you.
But I thought of you guys. But no, yeah, I feel like the good thing about fandom is like I remember growing up and my mom was like, "Don't trust people online."
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
then
I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
the friendships you make online, they're real. Like Lizzie and I met online and known each other now for 45 years.
Not 45 years. People are gonna think we're not even
Incredible.
45.
You've known each other before you were even
We're
alive.
known each other for more time than we have been alive.
Yes.
I
We
don't
look
know.
great.
It's a past life connection.
We
Hmm.
look great for people who have known each other longer than we have been alive.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the online community and the
Hmm.
groups
Me
that
too.
form every single
Yeah.
time, no matter
Yeah.
what you do.
That's how
Fandom.
Sil and I met also
Through
Yeah,
fandom.
on Tumblr.
on Tumblr. I did like a little like let's meet up at it was like well my first supernatural convention, but I was like I need people to like
We
meet
need
up
friends.
with. So like I made like a group thing. I don't remember what it was called because Tumblr was like 40 years ago. And yeah, we all
Yeah.
met up and like instant connection with that
Yeah.
one. So
'Cause,
and
like,
that's
you
been
and-
it's like what 8 years though? When was
That was
2016?
like so it was
9.
a convention like January 2016. So or 2017, I think.
2016. January.
So all
2016.
3 of you met through Supernatural?
Me and
Technically,
Rachel?
no. Sil and I
Well-
were mutuals because of Supernatural, but then really started talking because of Marvel.
After
Ooh.
Endgame.
Yeah.
After Endgame, because that destroyed us.
So Sil and I knew each other, and Sil and Han knew each other. So then matched all of the people together. And there's a
Yeah.
bunch more in the other group too, because I also knew Nikki, and I introduced Nikki to Sil, and then all
Aw,
of
that's
us,
really
and it's just it grew.
Well, I think Sil and I were talking, we were gonna do a Marvel rewatch, and she was like, what if we do one with my other 2 friends? And I was like, other friends?
people.
I was like, people, I just notorious people hater.
This is a people.
And I was like,
other friends.
I mean, I'm the
have to
same
get to
way.
know- Yeah, I know you are the same way, but I was like, all right. So I like made it was during quarantine, it was during 2020, early 2020, and I don't know. That was like fastest friendships formed. Actually, it was probably easy because like you had already been vetted.
You've already been vetted.
Like Rachel and Nikki had already been vetted by Sil.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to be like, are these people,
and vice versa.
do these people have some sort of weird, creepy thing that I haven't realized yet?
Background checks done.
Yeah.
The answer was yes, but
The answer was
you chose to ignore anyways.
yeah. Well,
Okay. I think I might like log off. I am dead. But this
Don't
was
do
really,
that.
really nice.
yeah.
Not as bad as Bobby.
Come hang out on live stream anytime. You just
Yeah,
remind me
anytime.
so I send you the link.
Yeah, no. We were thinking about it. Like I literally was talking with Lizzie and I was like, should we do it? Or
We
like
just
make-
finished. How do we join them? Then you guys
Yeah.
message. Like,
It's a new link every week because it's
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
a new room. But yeah, you just remind me because I'll probably forget.
Okay. And how
But if
long
you're
do we
like,
have
hey,
to
we're
do it?
around.
Like right after the episode for how
We
long?
start at 9:30 because
Okay.
we record our reactions. So we always
Oh.
wrap those up for like 10-15 minutes, just like talking about
Ooh.
stuff for that. Then we
Mhm.
take a break for like a snacks, bathroom, whatever. Then we start at 9:30.
to eat.
And then we are normally going till right around midnight. And then that's when Scylla's like,
Gotta go.
I work.
Right.
That's me.
I gotta
I
wake
wo-
up.
yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we
Right.
go later depending on like after episode 11.
We were on for like 3.5 hours.
I don't fucking know what time we were on until. And Meg,
It was like 1.
Meg
It's
was
like
here
1.
too, and she has to wake up super fucking early. Like at like 5:30 Central. And she was still talking with us till like 1:30.
I
before
mean,
she was
but
like, I
like,
gotta go.
hopefully we will have reasons to be here.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Mhm.
we will if we have reasons, we will be here.
Yeah.
Without
sure we will.
Hopefully there will be reasons to, not that there isn't always a reason to Buddy Max, but
But,
Yeah.
but
to do it with
We
chutzpah.
can make an excuse.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
I love
next-
how Lyra asks. I have a question.
I have a question.
No, she doesn't ask.
No,
She
I
says
love
I
it.
have a question.
Okay, yes, sorry.
She's letting us
Sure.
know.
So we have a new episode next week on the 17th, correct? And then
Mhm.
the 24th, we do not have an episode.
Mhm.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
Lizzie, that works perfectly. I have a trip coming up and I was literally going to be at like 2 in the morning.
No, please do not tell me about your fancy life. Okay, I'm gonna bye.
Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Continue.
You
talking.
too.
You too.
Thanks for
Thank
joining.
Thanks for popping
Thanks for
in.
joining.
Love you guys. I can't do the fancy heart thing,
Oh,
but
yeah, come on.
I
can
can't.
do
I'm
it.
like, this is the millennial heart.
we're millennials, so
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
can't.
I hate you.
I have
guys.
arthritis. I can't do the other
Yeah.
one.
I
What
don't
do they
know. I don't
do?
know how the Gen Zers do it.
I don't-
I
I
don't
don't.
My hands don't
I
work
don't.
that way.
Isn't it like?
I don't
the-
know.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
no.
Yeah,
it's like it's
I
these.
don't.
Yeah, like
and
Rachel
I
did.
can't. I
Don't-
can't do it.
it hurts.
It hurts.
I don't know.
We're not even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
These
Okay.
kids.
Y'all.
Bye.
I'm really never gonna I'm not gonna be able to do that Gen Z heart thing. I feel like they had to learn it when they were younger. Like when your bones are more malleable.
When your bones are
I
exactly.
need to not do it.
Rock was asking if we're watching Daredevil. We are, and I know
Yes.
Lizzie is too. Was
Yes.
Lyra also and Lyra?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're excited about.
I think they
finale's
watch
next
a lot of things for their jobs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I know we all
Um,
really enjoyed
We all love
Daredevil.
it.
But
Yeah,
Um, and they collect comic books. They have over 5,000. That is. Listen, we might have to.
Wow,
We all
okay.
might have
I
to
don't
talk
have
about
that many.
comics. I do not either.
That's great though.
Yeah.
I have like an ADHD relationship with the physical comics that I buy,
Mhm.
which is just that I see a cover that I like and I buy it.
That's kind of.
But I read comics on the app because it's hard for me to read physical things for multiple reasons that are like physical. So I like reading them on the app because I can zoom in to like one panel.
Yeah, that does make it a little easier.
And I don't have to like hold the thing and like have a light on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I say,
we have-
honestly, same.
we have
But
been watching
they
it.
always read the physical copies. It feels good. I get that. I love that.
I get that.
Oh,
But yeah, we've been watching it. We are really excited for / nervous for next week because they can leave us on a kind of a cliffhanger,
yeah.
technically.
Oh my God, we might get two giant cliffhangers in a week.
No.
Oh,
well, not
God.
a giant cliffhanger.
That's gonna
I'm
be
excited
hard.
that we're getting more Frank. We better get Frank and I better see some homoerotic shit with Frank and Matt, and I better see Frank and Karen. These are the things that I need to see. Thank you. But also, spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't watch Daredevil and cares, was fucking crazy to be watching that when we had just rewatched
Mm-hmm.
Suspicion.
We did just rewatch that with Nikki.
Our friend Nikki, who had just watched it for the first time. And I think she literally said, like, what the fuck, guys? This isn't the Punisher or Daredevil.
to Eddie, to Eddie
Yeah.
getting shot in 413. We were like, hey.
And then it was 2 days later. And he got shot in the same shoulder.
Oh my God.
And I was like, wow, these
If we had
Eddie
two
Matt
nickels.
parallels are never dying.
No, like, we really love to see the Eddie Matt Murdock parallels. I would love to do some art for that at some
You
point.
should.
Yeah,
Mhm. We keep
Should.
telling her that
I know.
she should do art.
She should. You have a
I'm
commission you
trying.
have to do. You have a commission you have to do.
I have two, actually.
You have two commissions you have
Yes.
to do. Then you
Yes, I
can
do.
start making fan art again.
Yes. Eventually.
Eventually.
So over the summer, I think, because I have one that's due in like the end of May, the other that's due
Yeah.
at like the end of June. So
All right. I think we are gonna wrap up here for the evening.
I know we've kind of trailed a little bit away from.
Well, I kind of feel like we talked about what happened as much as we could. I feel like we were
Yeah.
going in circles with it, and then we talked
little.
about Eddie Coma
At length.
at length, which we just continue
Again?
to do.
Because we're all about Eddie.
We're truthers. And it seems like everyone else is truthing with us.
Yeah.
So
Is it truthing
know
or
what?
is it being in denial? The world may never know.
colloquially,
we all go to the same
truthers,
school of
that's
media
implied.
literacy.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
So
Love
maybe
being Delulu.
we're wrong, but we should be right
We're at least we're all wrong. We would all be wrong together.
together.
And
Yeah.
I like that more
Yeah.
than being correct alone.
I don't think I'm the same on that one.
No, I realized that as it came out of my mouth, and I'm like, there's some benefit to that, but you know.
Because earlier
Anyways.
today, everyone was crashing out about the sounding off thing. Because they were like, this is for a firefighter funeral. And I was like, well, they literally say sound off for roll call to like make sure people are okay too. And I was like, if he doesn't do that, then me and Oliver Stark are beefing. And then he did it. So congrats.
Yeah,
We're not beefing.
We're
No
not
beef
having
between
beef.
the vegans.
The vegan.
I don't even know if I commented on that, actually.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did. I think I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, you had bigger concerns, I think. I don't even remember what happened today. There was so much shit happening. They just keep like hitting us with this deluge of things that I can't even remember everything that happens. And I feel like that's on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think the only thing that I did say was like, I trust him.
Yeah, that's a fundamental difference between you and me. It's like,
Yeah.
I trust him, you don't. You trust Oliver, I don't.
Oliver has never steered me wrong so far.
So far, but
Yeah.
he's a fucking troll.
But it's in a way that I understand. So I'm like this, for example. I'm like, I didn't put any weight to it. I don't know.
Oh,
meanwhile, everyone else was like, "Oh no."
I
someone's
wasn't
dying."
freaking out. I was like, I
don't
think
know.
this is what he's saying. If he's not, we're having beef. I think my like not trusting him has to do with him just like it's the trolling, the like serial deletion. I just don't trust him. Like he's doing stuff because it's amusing to him. I don't know. I just, as a fellow Cancer, I cannot trust with
Yeah.
my full chest.
I think I was getting annoyed too with the the Maddie or the Buck not being invited to whatever that was.
Oh, I had that thought like initially, and then I was like, why isn't he there? And then someone was like, oh, it's because everyone knows the sex. And I was like, oh, right. Right. So no Madney twins, they just fucked up the cake.
Which is like the obvious.
No one said that. I didn't see anyone saying that the cake was fucked up.
No, I didn't see that either.
Everyone was like twins.
I was just like, maybe they're just hanging out.
Or it's like a
doing
regular
stuff.
cake. I feel really bad because she's gonna be excited about a sister, and then to be like, just kidding, it's gonna be a stinky boy. She's probably so excited because she's like, oh my god, I already had a sister with Mara, and now I'm gonna have no, it's a brother.
We can't get last minute twins, can we? Because like that could happen. Imagine
we could. Maybe it's
3
foreshadowing.
kids.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I was crashing about that. I can't even remember what I was crashing out about today.
I think the only crash out I think I had or slight crash out was the title for 16. But
I did freak out about sound off because it was the first thing I saw when I woke up at like 7:30 and was like, what the fuck do you mean? And then logic re-entered my body. And I was like, this is probably what he means, but if it's not. But yeah, I don't even know.
I was not fully conscious for that. I got your text and I was like, I'll look at it later. Or I think I did like check Instagram very
Mhm.
quickly, and I was like, "It's already deleted."
Of course it
I'll
is.
look at
It's
things
deleted like
later.
immediately after he
Yeah.
posts it.
So quick.
He's so funny. That's why I have to as I open the phone, I have screenshot ready to go. I click on the notification and then just sit there. Ready to
We've been
screenshot it.
we've been conditioned
Mhm.
at this point.
Sad.
Or prepared. Take your pick.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
I'm
Rock is going to bed.
good night, Rock.
We're going to
bed
watch
too.
The
Bye,
Pit.
good
I think
night.
it's the season finale.
Oh,
Enjoy. See you next week.
enjoy. I was just gonna try and wrap up for us. I'm looking forward to next week tentatively.
Mm-hmm.
That was the
I
thing.
think it's going to be good.
That was the thing that I was slightly crashing out about. Was Oliver saying best episode we've ever done, and I was like,
Oh.
"What do you mean? More than the Searchers?"
I
And
mean,
I'm like, maybe it's equally good.
It was good. I'm gonna have to see the other part
Mm-hmm.
before I
Yeah.
make a good decision because this is very obviously part of a two-parter,
mhm.
which we already
Mhm.
knew. But I would never just watch this episode by itself.
No.
Like I will
No.
watch the Searchers by itself.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I am tentatively excited. I'm just nervous. I need to put my expectations 40 feet below ground.
Because, oh my God. I knew you were going with that.
Someone had to. We haven't.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. We have
It's
not
not a
made
buddy
well done yet.
system live stream episode.
Without a
No.
Well,
pun about the well. Or the will.
damn the will.
I know.
We need. I don't care how we get there, guys. Just make it happen. I'm
It's
not
gonna
picky about
happen.
that one. Is it?
I don't know.
What?
You'll say things with such conviction, and I'll just ask you, "Is it?" And you're like, "Eh."
I don't know, but I still like that. I still like that one post that I read by Poughkeepsie's from Tumblr about like how it's like kind of more like being shown instead of like
Instead of
explicitly saying.
told.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I do love that. I do love that post.
So I'll take it. It's fine. As long as they get together and they're co-parent. Well, they continue to co-parent.
They
because they're still
continue to co-parent,
Yeah,
but like out loud,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
acknowledge that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or like Buck acknowledges it. Because I don't know. I feel like Eddie thought that he was saying a lot more of the will than like Buck took. Sometimes.
Well, he was basically saying,
Mm.
stop killing yourself.
Yeah, you're part of our family.
You're important.
Yeah.
And Buck's like,
And he's like,
I don't even know.
he's like, I have a job to do if you die. I got it. Like,
yeah.
so
I feel
yeah,
like
I just
with Buck, you have to bonk him in the head. Like,
yeah,
severely.
with both of them. Sorry.
No,
I'm
but
dying a little
the
bit.
difference is like I feel like Eddie says things with meaning, but it's like not coming through for some reason.
well, because Buck has so many issues.
Yeah.
You've got to be so literal with him. Like, I just don't think he took from that what he was supposed to. I'm gonna die on that hill, and that's kind of why I would like to be brought up textually.
I think
Again,
it's
but-
going to eventually. It may not be right now. It may be
It doesn't
after
have to be
like
right now. It could be a
after they get
9.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think
I-
it has to be addressed at some point.
I think it
Somewhere
has
in
to change.
Mm.
Well, not change, but like something needs to be
well, it could
amended.
just it could just be solidified
Mhm.
because
That's-
because if they get married
Yeah.
and his name changes or he legally adopts Chris, you know, There are a lot of things that could change.
Oh, that would be cute.
I read a fic sometime in the past couple days where basically Buck is like, and it's set in this season, like around Eddie coming home or something, or him giving advice to Eddie while he's still in Texas, but him being like, sorry, I didn't mean to overstep. Like, I know I'm not his parent. And he doesn't say, like, of course you are, like, you're his co-parent, like, you've been doing it this whole time. Like, fics have him say a lot. It was basically just saying, like, what did you think the will was? That was just me putting down in paper, like, what you already are. That was just me.
Why do I feel like I read
confirming that? Because probably, I feel like we've been reading the same fics lately. It might have been the one that I recommended. I don't know. It's so hard when they're all like the same kind of flavor
concept,
of the season, like the Coda fics, and I like love it. But then I'm also just like, they're all just like one amalgamation of Eddie and Texas fic.
Yeah.
Man, sorry, I had to step away.
I was just.
I would love to hear.
We all need to step away.
Yeah, I was about to say Rachel looks like she's dying.
Yes.
Time to
Thank
go.
you all so much for joining us. And I'm sure we're going to be doing way worse next week. Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. Enjoy this last glimpse of whatever remains of our sanity, because we're either going to be crashing out because Bobby fake DE, or because Eddie NDE, or both, or secret third option.
Eddie comes back and it's fine, actually.
Now that would be the twist.
That would be the twist. Anyway, we love hanging out with y'all. Thank you for joining us, and
thanks for bearing with me while I was sick.
Right.
She'll be better next week. We're using the
Hopefully.
power of positive thinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for chatting.